Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So I had a bad dream last night, and I gotta be careful because a lot of my dreams that I have at night end up coming true. Not always 100%, but they usually rhyme. I'll talk about some of them after I bring up what happened last night. So I'm recording this in early March of 2025. We had a series of plane crashes early this year, and last night I dreamt that I survived a plane crash, or I'm not sure if I survived it. In the dream, I was traveling. I can't recall where to or where from, but I had gotten on the plane and I had arrived at an airport. And when I got to the airport, nothing was right. I couldn't talk to anybody, people weren't acknowledging me. And it was at the airport that I had learned that my plane had crashed. So it was kind of weird. And the only thing I could think about after hearing that the flight I had been on had crashed was my art that I had brought on board. I had an art masterpiece of some sort. And all I cared about was whether or not it would be found. And I was looking at the news and looking at the situation. And it just didn't add up to me. And also, I didn't know where I was. The airport that I landed in wasn't familiar. Okay, I'm talking about this because a lot of my dreams end up rhyming in some way, and I hope this one doesn't rhyme too seriously. Maybe I'll be on a trip where my flight gets diverted or something like that. But we'll see. But a lot of my dreams end up coming true to some extent. I first noticed this problem, or this gift that I have, I should say, when I was 8 years old. When I was 8 years old, one day I dreamt that my family and I were on the road and we all needed to go to the bathroom really badly. And we pulled into a Kmart and I was the only child at the time. All three of us rushed into the bathroom. Just a few days after the dream, my family and I were on our way to lunch when we all needed to go to the bathroom really badly. And sure enough, we rushed into a Kmart. And I told my mom, I dreamt about this a few nights ago. My mom didn't believe me. And it was at the time that I realized that dreams predict the future. Every dream I have ever had has eventually come to pass. Some of them happen overnight, some of them take years to manifest. Yesterday, I talked about how I had dreamed about hitting it big with precious metals a few years ago, and then I did a couple weeks ago. That wasn't the only time, though. I gotta be careful, though. I'm gonna have to think hard if I actually want to travel to Poland this summer. That's two bad dreams I have against me. 3 years ago, I'm a big fan of Evelina Falenta, second place winner of Polish Idol Season 1. And for some reason, she actually talks to me on Facebook. We're Facebook friends, if you could believe it. I had a dream about her. In the dream, you got to remember, in 2022, I made a resolution to quit masturbating. My habit was getting out of control. After I had gone about 40 days, one night I had a dream about Evelina Falenta. I dreamt that I had gone to visit her in Poland, and I had gotten her pregnant with 10 babies at one time, and she was huge. And we were really excited about that. I wasn't concerned or anything, which is weird. And when I woke up, I got scared out of my mind because I'm not ready to have kids yet, especially 10 kids. And all of my dreams eventually come to pass. And not long after that dream, I was talking to her on Facebook, and I dropped the L-bomb, and she responded very positively. And she wants to see me. And I'm starting to worry that I'm not going to be able to stop that dream from coming true. I'm starting to worry about that. I had a dream one time that I was teaching at a different college at the time. I had a dream that somebody had spilled mercury in our office. A little bit of background. I am autistic, and I've done really well since chelating mercury out of my body. Apparently, some of our bodies aren't very good at getting rid of heavy metals, and it creates body burden. I have been doing chelation for a number of years, so mercury spills are like my nightmare. One day I was sitting in the cafeteria. A few days after that, I was sitting in the cafeteria when somebody broke an 8-foot fluorescent light bulb. The dream was still fresh on my mind, so I packed everything and I quickly ran out of the building. And I would have been safe, except that HR was really upset at me for leaving a disaster in the kitchen. Actually, HR called me and asked me if I was okay. They said that I had been seen running away from the building. I explained about the mercury. Now, the HR girl that I talked to, she was younger than me. She didn't know what mercury was. She laughed at me and created a very toxic workplace situation for me. Like I was trying to make excuses for all that. And long story short, it created a wedge. I ended up leaving that job. I learned the hard way when things like that happen to make sure to put things in writing. Right. What I should have done was gotten some references, put it in writing. This is what I'm dealing with. I'm sorry. I like to make up for this. Whatever the situation is, but put it in writing. I was too shy at the time to deal with that, but the HR person didn't understand mercury, didn't understand autism, thought it was all an excuse, and it created a workplace toxicity that kind of rivaled the toxicity of the mercury itself, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.